Hello everyone and Merry Christmas and welcome to the Forgotten Generation podcast, festive Christmas special episode with your host Troy. When you're listening to this, it'll be Christmas Day. Hope this episode gives you a bit of joy whatever you're doing today. With me in this festive episode are spectacular guests, Eden and Gemma. Would you both like to give us a quick introduction to yourselves for those who didn't listen to previous episodes? You both were on with me. And what is one word you think about when you think of the word Christmas? Gemma, we'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Gemma Hickey. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Scotland. My social action journey started a fair few years ago now with a local climate advocacy group called the North Lanarkshire Youth Climate Ambassadors. From there, I was able to get involved with a number of incredible organisations in voluntary roles, including Young Scot, UK Youth, including being an IWIL ambassador for Scotland. I'm really passionate about a range of topics, including climate advocacy, youth involvement, and have recently started branching out into working in the sports side of things, being a member of the Scottish Women's Sport Digital Committee, being a content creator for Central Scotland Autograss Club, and being a part of the team at the Rookie Reporters. I've had just the most amazing experiences as part of my social action journey, delivering presentations, hosting events, and even getting to be an emerging leader at this year's Anthropy 25 event. And through this, I've also been able to explore my interest in content creation, sports media, and reporting and article writing. And I'm also a first year uni student working towards a joint honours degree in Scots Law and History. I'm very excited to be on TFG again, having previously been on for the TFG Day Special. So thanks so much, Troy, for having me again. Can't wait for it. And I think one word for Christmas, or to sum up Christmas for me, would just be joy.
I love that. Thank you. Eden, what about you?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm Eden, I'm 22, I'm in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and I started my social action in 2021 through being involved in NCB's anti-bullying forum. Since then I've been involved in like so many different youth projects and organizations. Like there's just too many to name, but some include I Will and My Life My Say, as well as Action for Children and The Mix. I'm currently in my first year studying childhood and youth studies, really enjoying it, really exciting. And one word to describe Christmas for me, probably community. And yeah, I think it's just like so lovely to like connect with everybody.
It's so good to have both of you on this very festive episode. And so the first question is, what does Christmas mean to you and how does it resonate with your journey? Eden, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so kind of I think it kind of links on to what my word was. But I feel like Christmas is just like such a special time of the year. Like it's so nice to spend time with family and friends. And after like a very kind of busy year, so things kind of start to slow down a bit, and I think that's really nice. And like you get time off uni, you get time off work, you get time off school, like it's just all good things. In terms of like how it kind of resonates with my journey, I normally take a bit of a break from social action and volunteering, but sometimes I do little bits just because it helps me just like stay connected. I know this year I am a befriender for a few different charities, so like I ring up people every week and just like check in and see how they're doing. So I think I'll continue to do that maybe in the week after Christmas. But I think it's just nice to like still like keep connected and still like make a difference to people, because I think sometimes it can be quite an isolating like time of year for some people. So yeah.
I absolutely agree with you on that one. I think it's so important that we all come together as a community. And like you said, it can be isolating, it can be very difficult and very hard. And Gemma, what about you?
I think for me, I actually struggled to pick one word. No surprises there, but I think I would probably say reflection is my word. So for me, Christmas has always been very much about family, spending time with family, friends, and loved ones. But it's also about just reflecting and being so thankful for everything. My journey through social action has very much been a transformative one. I've grown so much as a person, and my skills and my confidence and experiences I've had. And Christmas has always been a time, like you've said, Eden, to just slow down and just kind of like reflect on sort of the year that I've had. Just been thankful for all I have, where I am, my development, my family, and my friends, and just realizing how far I've come. My journey's not always been easy, and I think that's something that a lot of people resonate with. And at times it's been bumpy and chaotic and just totally all over the place. But I've come out the other side stronger, and I think it's all just about being reflective and being and realising like the power you've got within yourself. And I think Christmas is just the best time to do that.
So amazing. So thank you. And so what makes you inspired this Christmas? Gemma, we'll start with you.
I think for me, something that's really inspired me specifically this Christmas is just hope. And thinking back on the idea of Christmas being very reflective for me, looking back to this year, it's not to be all like doom and gloom, but there's times where it's been really, really hard to stay positive. And as a global collective and as young people, we've been faced with so many challenges this year, and it absolutely does take a toll. But something that's given me so much hope is the young people that I've been lucky enough to work with, like yourselves, on projects and panels and opportunities. And I'm so inspired by the fact that the young people that I've had the like absolute pleasure of being able to interact with are just tirelessly working to make the world a better place for our generation and the next, and are so, so selfless in their mission to improve the lives of young people. I think the belief and passion that young people have is something that gives me hope for a better tomorrow and a better future for everyone. And it's something that I'm really thankful for. I've just been able to work with amazing people this year. And I have, it sounds really cheesy, but I do genuinely have a faith in a better world for us all because of the people that I've worked with. It's been amazing.
Oh, and that is so amazing and so inspiring, Gemma. Eden, what about you?
Yeah, I so agree with what Gemma's just said. I think it's just so amazing to kind of reflect on the year and like every time I have a conversation with a young person, like within our kind of community, changemaker community, like it just like fills you with so much like passion and hope and joy as well. I think that's like another big thing that comes with Christmas. Obviously, like it's a lovely time of year. But I think just like seeing the work that people do during the year, being able to reflect on that and seeing what their aspirations are. And also I think like them keeping going despite the challenges, like obviously like it is really tough sometimes being a young change maker, but like I think it's so inspiring to see people despite challenges that they might face keep on going and still like bring that passion and energy. So yeah, I think that's what really kind of motivates me and inspires me.
I agree. I think it's just so important and just love the responses from you both. Thank you so much. And what are the three things you think are the issues young people are facing when it comes to Christmas and why? Gemma, we'll start with you.
I think one of the things that one of the biggest issues I think is poverty. Just with rising living costs and so many families across the world living in poverty, the disparity is just no more clear than it is at Christmas. And I think many families just struggle to keep the lights on, never mind afford presents. And it's really sobering to realise that for many young people, Christmas is just another day. They can't afford the luxuries that others can. And it's why appeals like food banks and angel trees are just so important at this time of year, because that support can allow people, and especially young people, to have a Christmas. And the support I've seen within my local community for these appeals is major. And I think that in itself has given me a lot of hope, but it does have to be a global effort. I think mental health is another one. This can obviously be linked to poverty, but also to the idea that exam season falls in December time. Many young people will be feeling really isolated, and a lot of mental health problems will be heightened due to stress and overwhelm. And also, Christmas is a time where not a lot of young people will be able to receive adequate support for these issues, which is such a critical issue. And also, again, linked into this, loneliness. With schools breaking up for term, many young people struggle with feelings of isolation or loneliness, because they're not in that space where they're interacting with their classmates, their friends every single day. And I think social media it's only really worsened this. It can be a really valuable tool for staying in touch, but it can also just lead to such feelings of, they've got a perfect Christmas and just seeing this on social media and really comparing it to what they're feeling. And it can really only heighten these feelings of just loneliness and isolation. So I think that's probably the three issues that I think I would highlight as key.
Absolutely, Gemma. I couldn't agree more on what you said. Eden, what about you?
I think the big one for me is grief and like bereavement. I think that can be really challenging for people who have lost loved ones. But also I think this doesn't often get talked about, like young people who have like chronic illness or maybe like other health issues, who might not be able to experience Christmas like they maybe have done previously. And I think kind of that kind of grief as well kind of comes into that. I think also disability, different range of disabilities can be quite tricky to navigate during Christmas because there's kind of like a perception from society that you should like act a certain way, and like have to do things a certain way. And I think masking also comes quite a lot into that as well. So I think it can be really challenging and quite overwhelming for young people, especially like with the change in routine as well. So yeah, I think those are kind of the main issues that young people face that aren't always necessarily talked about as well.
Absolutely right. On agreeing with what all of you guys said about, ambulatory issues about and poverty, but also, masking and just chronic illness, because I think a lot of young people go through that in this Christmas season. There's lots of issues that and they face when it comes to Christmas. And I think it's so important that we highlight those. And so if you was the Prime Minister or government minister, what would you do better in supporting young people in this Christmas season? Eden, we'll start with you.
That is such a big question. Yeah, there's so much like we could do that needs to be done better. Not even just at Christmas, but we won't get into that. So I think in terms of like during Christmas, I think maybe just more services and opportunities for young people to feel connected. Because obviously what Gemma was saying about like being those feelings of loneliness and stuff are heightened quite a lot. So I think, yeah, that's definitely important. And I think also trying to get people just to be more present and in the moment, like during Christmas, like yes, phones and social media and everything like can perceive it like so perfect. And yes, it's a good way to keep connected. Yes, it's a good way to kind of like experience the memories and have them saved. This kind of links into the work with FlipGen, but I think just allowing people the opportunity to spend time with loved ones and take some time off screen, take some time just to rest, and allowing that kind of societal change in like perceptions around that as well, I think is so important. So yeah, those are kind of the main things that I would like to see.
And a great Prime Minister, absolutely, I would vote for you. Gemma, what about you?
Absolutely agree. I would vote for you to be PM, Eden. I think for me, it's it's a big issue, and I think it's difficult to kind of, condense it all into sort of one sort of idea. But I think what I really wanted to highlight was providing better support, whether that be food, financial aid for parents, contributing to Given Tree or Angel Tree appeals, or even mental health support. Having any kind of increased support is vital at Christmas to ensure that every young person, every family, and everyone can have a really special Christmas and are are able to have that one day a year that's just extra special. So I think providing better support would be probably my takeaway.
Thank you so much, Gemma, for sharing that. I think you, Eden, as well, because you guys will be brilliant prime ministers. I think you'll make a big impact in the world of Christmas, but also in general. And so, what is one special and Christmas and tradition, and why is it so special to you? And Gemma, we'll start with you.
So I've got many within my family. I think that comes with having a very big family, very big extended family. I think it's just so many traditions just come out of that. But I think one that I'd really want to sort of narrow down and think is really special to me is that on Christmas Eve, me and my family just sit down together and watch a movie. I've done this for the past few years, and it's just something I always really look forward to, just purely for the sake of like my mum and dad both work, and I think it's hard to a lot of the time when I'm studying, when I was at school and I'm now at uni, to just find time to just dedicate to family time. So when they've got no excuse, they can't get rid of me on Christmas Eve because they aren't working. So I'll force them into it. But I think this year, I think we're thinking of the new Knives Out movie. It's been our Christmas Eve movie of choice. I think that comes out on Netflix today. We loved the last two, so we're very excited. But I think, yeah, just getting to the time to sit down and watch a movie with family is always something I really look forward to.
I love that, Gemma. It sounds fun at your place at Christmas time. Eden, what about you?
Yeah, kind of similar. I'm gonna go for two because why not? So me and my family, we always go and see the Polar Express every Christmas. We normally see it in the cinema. Last year we went to like a drive-in cinema, which was quite different. But it's just been something like I've always done, like growing up. Like I think from probably when I was like maybe 8 or 9, and now it's really lovely. And it really means a lot to me because now my cousins, one of them's 3 and one of them's 9, and now I get to like kind of share that magic and tradition with them. It's kind of like a full circle moment, which is really nice. And then me and my mum also go delivering presents on Christmas Eve, and we've kind of always done that. And we put like Christmas music on. We normally go to McDonald's as well. Solid choice. And yeah, it's just like Gemma was saying, like really nice to just like spend time with my mum and also like spread some festive cheer to like friends and family. But yeah, those are the two main ones I really look forward to every year.
I love that. Oh, that's just so beautiful. Oh, I'm so glad that those traditions are so and special to spend time with your loved ones and cherish the moments you have at Christmas because it can go a long way. So it's just so wonderful to hear that. And so, what is one message or advice you would say to a young person this Christmas who might feel a sense of loneliness? Eden, we'll start with you.
I think I would say like it might feel like you're on your own, but there's so many other young people who would be out there who are also like feeling similar, even though it might look like everybody's having like the best time on social media. In reality, like a lot of people are feeling lonely, and I think it's so important like you try and keep connected and find ways to keep connected to friends and family. And also there's like loads of different online communities out there as well and support services. I'm going to shout out the Mix because both me and Troy have been working on their winter campaign, and there's a lot of that has been around keeping connected during the winter period. So I would recommend having a look on there as well in terms of like bereavement support, chronic illness support as well. There's Winston's Wish for bereavement. And like other chronic illness communities that you can find people to talk to. So yeah, there's definitely people out there as well who'll be feeling similar. So yeah, just reach out. But I know it can be quite difficult to do that sometimes. So yeah.
So inspiring, Eden. Thank you. Gemma, what about you?
I think for me, mine was pretty much the same as Eden's, but I think I just wanted to kind of say that like it is such a hard time a year for many, and you're not alone in feeling like that. School's breaking up, compounded with the fact that social media is so prevalent, can make this time of year really anything but magical. And it's important that you don't compare yourself to those that you see on social media or compare what your version of a perfect Christmas would be to someone else. I think Christmas can look different for everyone, and your perfect Christmas doesn't need to look like someone else's. Starting your own traditions, even with just yourself, like baking something festive, watching a film, or even journaling can spark this idea of a new tradition. And also just reaching out to friends or people, like people you volunteer with, is major. Keeping that connection by chatting with a friend, meeting up for a coffee can really spark a connection. And I think just remember that there is support out there and you're not alone.
Thank you. And that is it for today's festive episode this Christmas Day.
Thank you for having us. It's been so fun. I've loved it.
Yeah, it's been so good. Thank you so much for having me on again.
Thank you both for coming on today's festive episode. Hope you, the listeners, have a magical day, whatever you got planned. To let you know, the Forgotten Generation podcast is back in the new year on the 8th of January for a new series called Stand Up and Out. I'll see you then. Until then, have yourself a Merry Christmas. Bye everyone. Please support the podcast by subscribing and rating the podcast. I'd love to hear what you like and what could be better for future episodes. If you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram and iwill.troy, and also on X, iwill_Troy. Tune in to next week's episode.